What is up, guys? Wrestling Premiere is here. Bonus video. I told you guys last time around, I like making these short videos, at least once a week. I'd like for this to continue, so if you have any short video ideas, just comment them down below. You can do topics that aren't unpopular as well, because as I said, I'm aiming to do everything. Like this video, for example, do I expect everybody to watch it? No, I don't expect everybody to watch it, but I want to do it because maybe there's someone out there that's like, hey, is Wrestling Premiere ever going to make this? These bonus videos could be used to talk about lesser known runs or less talked about things. I might even do Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch in one of these bonus days if I can. Alright. Often speaking about flops, I always forget about Braden Walker. Better known as Chris Harris, I should know. Hell, if you were to ask me a few years ago, I wouldn't even known this man was in WWE. Like, sure, a bunch of the guys have come and gone from that era of ECW, but I remember a lot of them. I remember Colin Delaney. Hell, even Ricky Ortiz. I'm sure a bunch of you guys may have forgotten about him. But Chris Harris, yeah, I don't remember. And this is when I was fully into WWE as a kid. Like, I was watching every week. I was so into the shows. Turns out, this is because of the fact that he only had 2 matches. He wasn't featured in any game. Actually, he didn't even have a single toy made for him. No wonder why I don't remember him. He had an amazing run with Cowboy James Storm as America's Most Wanted. They won the title 7 times, and it seemed like a great move for Harris at the time, but it turned out to be the most forgettable thing I've ever seen from 2008 WWE. So as I said, Harris had a decent career in TNA. He had one of the best matchups of 2007 against his old partner James Storm, and around the end of the year, he wasn't doing much. At the same time, his contract with TNA was set to expire in January of 2008. A rumor circulated that Harris snubbed TNA in favor of WWE. There was also this bizarre shoot he did the previous month, although some believed he was in character. He ended up confirming this in an interview about a year later. I don't want to drag the video reading some unnecessary stuff, so pause and read it. Harris was complaining about his position on the TNA card, mentioned the fact that Kurt Angle dominated the screen time, and the very next day, on January 11, 2008, TNA removed his profile from the website, and it was clear that Harris was now a free agent. Fast forward to January 30th, 2008, and it was confirmed that Harris was now a member of the WWE roster. A report at the time speculated that he was signing as an agent, not a wrestler, but that clearly wasn't the case. He was sent down to Florida Championship Wrestling to get in shape, and there wasn't much about Harris' stats throughout the spring other than the fact that he gained weight. This caused him to start wrestling in a singlet, and rumors circulated that WWE officials were upset with Harris' weight gain. This was due to the fact that he was sidelined for 4 months. On the July 8, 2008 episode of ECW, Chris Harris was renamed Braden Walker. Armando Estrada, who randomly turned into a wrestler, was booked to face the newest wrestler, Braden Walker. He had this whole knock-knock gimmick saying, "Knock, knock, who's there? I'm gonna knock your brains out." Nobody cheered for him, and Tez even mentioned this questioning the echoes. Estrada was a formidable opponent, but clearly this was Walker's night. He won it with this weird-looking crossbody. He disappeared for a while before returning for the August 5, 2008 episode, where he faced the Casey James guy from 2006. You guys remember him? Alright, this match was dull and forgettable. He won it with the perfect plex, but little did everyone know that this was his final match, because 2 days later, he was released by WWE. I'll get into that soon, but I want to mention the Matt Hardy segment. It's sadly the most memorable thing that he had in WWE. Hardy said something along the lines of, "I hear you're quite the Wildcat," which of course was a reference to his TNA name. That's edited by WWE on the network. I don't know if it's because they're embarrassed by it, or they thought it was irrelevant. I don't know. But with regards to Walker, his 2 matches here were pretty uninspiring, forgettable, and you wouldn't be pressed to find any interest in watching them, honestly. He was a complete far cry to his previous self inside the ring and outside the ring. It was so underwhelming that Lance Storm said, quote, "I don't know Chris Harris, but anyone who shows up for their WWE debut in the worst shape of their career deserves to be fired. Wellness policy aside, I don't believe the treadmill is on the banned substance list." Wow. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter in August of 2008, these are the reasons why Chris Harris was released from WWE. In regards to the Braden Walker Chris Harris release announced last Thursday, it was a rather quick release as he just made his TV debut in early July for ECW. His situation has been described as a guy who had a string of great matches in TNA, and when he got to WWE, they were down on him and suddenly he didn't know how to work that style. The talk within WWE was that he went out there like a guy whose confidence was beaten out of him in his matches on ECW. Harris was said to have had a lot of heat on him to begin with and how he carried himself backstage, but no one can really pinpoint if he did one thing to cause that reaction among the wrestlers. One assumption is that he might have carried himself as if he had done something in the wrestling industry already. In his time with TNA, in the America's Most Wanted tag team with James Storm, and in WWE, that is a big strike against you to have had some success elsewhere unless you come in and admit right away that what you did didn't count. What the hell? The overwhelming opinion was that Harris didn't do well in his debut TV match with Armando Estrada on ECW and didn't come across well on his pre-tapes either. Now, we heard from outside sources, but what does the man Braden Walker say? In an interview in early 2009, Braden Walker criticized WWE for many things. It's an interesting read, but I'll show a part of it. At the time my last match went down, I'd been on the roster 6 or 8 months and I had enough. I began staying home with my girlfriend, and then I was put on the road, then attending TV and pay-per-views. It was the most miserable time of my life and career, and it could have been them not using me missing home, or just wanting out and wishing to take the move back there. I know what I was going through. It was a dream job shot to work 14 years and sign that deal, yet I was so uncomfortable. By the time I got to that match, people could see I was not the same person from 8 months back. The writing was on the wall before that. You can mask it by smiling, but the thick skin you have gets chipped away by the office. I didn't want to be there. I mentioned it before, my name, look, and mindset were all taken away. I was a blank stain, they didn't do anything with it. I had a talk with Dusty Rhodes one day and he asked, where did the Chris Harris I knew from TNA go? I told him he's not here and I don't know where he went. Tuesday night after that match, I talked to the writers and said I will try to make it work, but they could see by my body language I was done. By Thursday, I was gone. Most people who get their release go into a depression. When Johnny called me, I said thanks for being honest with me. My girlfriend asked what happened and she saw me smile. She said that's the first time I've seen a smile on my face in 6 months. That should give you some insight into how things ended. The man was pretty damn happy that the WWE chapter was over with. Among other things, Harris wasn't happy that he had to drop his original name and change his moveset. He didn't enjoy the lack of any character build-up, mentioning R-Truth's vignettes and the lack thereof in his case. So that's the Braden Walker run. There's not much to say, honestly. He lost his form, and the man himself says it. The guys in the back didn't like the weight gain. Add to that, he was forgettable inside the ring, and as a result of all of this, he was gone within a month of his debut. He did not find the same form that he had previously, and basically, it's like a sports player moves up to a bigger team. The move just doesn't go well, and they're worse off than they were beforehand. Also, do any of you guys have this DVD? Alright, that's it for this video. As I said, this is just a bonus upload. I'd like to do more of these. I actually wanted to go with Hate Vanson initially, but I couldn't really make a video out of it. It was literally 1 minute or something along the lines of that, and I thought, you know what, let's not do this, let's do something else. So if you have any suggestions, just comment them down below. Short videos, I should note, and I'll be certain to do one next week. That's it for this video. Make sure you hit the clothesline on the like button and perhaps the crossbody and the subscribe button. Peace, I'm out.